Yes. Uh, Thank you so much. Maybe I move somewhere where you can see me.
The television will see you on television
Yeah.
on the
Thank you so
screen.
much, Your Excellency, our first Vice President of the Republic of South Sudan, and the Chair of Governance Cluster, and the Chair also of this Fifth Governance Forum. I want also to recognize Honorable Kwalmanyang Jok, the Senior Presidential Advisor, Au Kabir Bita Mustasharin, and all the distinguished guests to this Fifth Governors Forum, the governors and the chief administrators, and place also is the protocol for our ministers and all who are here. Your Excellency, my contribution is under governance. I feel like number 11, financially support the committee working on borders. We need also to be more specific about this because governance cluster is big, and like number 10 is very clear. We need also to put it clear here because we are making resolutions. So if it is the finance, let it be clear. If it's the office of the president, let it be clear because some issues were specifically commented yesterday. And then the same also with number 12, establish a commission. Who will establish this commission? It needs to be also made very clear because the governance cluster is very big. After this, Your Excellency, allow me also to raise an information to this Fifth Governance Forum. And this information, I shared it actually 2 days ago, but I was advised by Dr. Barnaba, our minister in the office of the president, as well as Honorable Michael Makwe. So I think ahead of it, I want to make an apology for not committing to their advice because I'm provoked to raise this information because it was raised yesterday, but I thought you in your capacity as the chair of this meeting, you will make a ruling about it and you will comment on that information. Your Excellency, the information is about 8 personnel. Actually, they are military persons. They are detained in Ding Ding. And this issue was raised yesterday by the Deputy Governor of Unity State when he said that the Deputy Chief Administrator of Ruweng mentioned earlier in his presentation that there are no IOs in Ruweng is not correct. And he mentioned that, yes, in Ding Ding, there are some people. I thought, Your Excellency, the comment you will make on this information is that those people are in detention now, simply because they are from Ruweng. And simply because some of their colleagues decided to shift their allegiance to the SPLM. So since the 5th of this month, من يوم 5 شهر 11 هم مسجونين. And I don't know, this is my question to you. Why is it only when it's some few people who decide to shift their allegiance, they are detained, and yet we have seen defection and people shifting from government, from SPLM to IO and from IO to government, but nobody is put in detention. I'm raising this information to the attention of this forum so these 8 people from Ruweng are released immediately. We don't know about their well-being, just because they decided to come back to SPLM. Your Excellency, you know, yesterday there was an intervention made by the governor of Eastern Equatoria State when there was a comment on the presentation of the chief administrator of Ruweng by the deputy governor of Unity State. Honorable Lobong, I remember he appealed that some of these issues will not be settled in this forum. And therefore, he requested Your Excellency to advise the participant to cease debate on it. But it's good also that you say you encourage them to speak. But yet you listen only to one side, because I know that members from Ruang, members of the delegation, were raising their hand, papers were submitted, they are on your table, and even I myself raised some questions. But I know they are there for reasons you know that you did not allow them to raise their concern. So Your Excellency, this was not good. And some of the informations, the interventions raised yesterday by the Deputy Governor were actually misleading to this high forum. I therefore honestly want to express my disappointment about the way you moderated the session in the morning sessions yesterday, while you allowed and you gave only an opportunity to some people only because they are from your tribe, because they are from your state, and because he's from your party. You allowed him to speak, and you denied to give that reason, that chance also to other people to express their views. Some of my appointment about the intervention he made yesterday, allow me, Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor mentioned that people of Alor were chased away in 1945 from Pariang. Your Excellency, this is a lie, and this is a misleading information to this August forum. We all know, let's go to historical records, to map. And I know you know very well, you are well informed when we look at the tribal map. Before 1945, people of Alor has been living in that area. And it is honestly disappointing for a minister who is entrusted actually to lead this nation to give misleading information. This is not correct, and I'm calling him actually to give an apology. Your Excellency, there is this case of, if you remember this incident, where Eric, the black man in the US, was dying while saying his last words. He was saying, "I can't breathe." I think this is the same situation of people of Ruang, because we are minority, we don't have political power, we are bullied, we are oppressed, we are depressed, and we are marginalized by our own leaders whom we think that they are actually supposed to treat us equally. I'm saying this, Your Excellency, because most of the information were raised yesterday. I thought you will correct some of them so that we are not reaching this status of us actually confronting ourselves in such forum, and instead we talk for the development and call for social coexistence. We call for promotion of culture of peace between the people, including the people of Ruang and Unity State. I'm saying this, Your Excellency, because issues on border, as they were mentioned yesterday, maps were provided, but you wanted specific maps that are expressing your own ideas that to be accepted by this forum. And this is not correct at all. We know that even when they are talking about, and I know, as I mentioned, the tribal map are very clear, telling that it is Ruang actually bordering the Western Kordofan and Southern Kordofan, and where we are bordering also Upper Nile, Jungle, and we are connected actually to Biemnom. Yet you wanted this forum to be misled and be convinced that Pariang and Biemnom has no borders. This is not true, but I'm happy that one of the resolutions that came out is that these issues of borders to be settled, and we have also a community peace conference to be conducted. But Your Excellency, I'm not sure how genuine these processes will be done. Because if we are seeing our leaders are abusing their powers, and I'm not promoting actually this spirit of equal opportunity for people to express their views, I'm doubting that also the same forums will be manipulated, because even like the same maps when we are all aware that those maps that you are trying to promote right now were recently drawn when you were given the chance to lead and to be in power, so that you are able to actually to be drawing the borders and boundaries of the states and administrative areas. So, Your Excellency,
I think you're finished.
yes, let me
Thank you.
let me close it. Your Excellency, so I'm calling actually for the next governance forum. Honestly, the one who is leading, let people actually to free themselves from this feeling of belongingness. So all of us, we equally behave as national leaders, not protecting other people because they are from areas and because they are tribemen. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We continue. I think what she said, she can say it in the conference, the peace conference. She has enough time to say what her views are on the issues she raised. Now going back to 10.
Your Excellency, thank you so much once again for this chance. I wanted to add some adjustment under number 1 under peace and security. I wanted to see among the recommendation empowerment of police, the border police, immigration, customs, and yesterday we had also the authorities from the standards. We need them to be empowered. If I'm not mistaken, I'm not seeing it everywhere here. It's about our safety. So that one under peace and security. And then under governance, there was regulation 35, where you advise maybe we remove the control consumption of alcohol and drugs in the states. I appeal that maybe we need to replace control with regulate, because even in those non-Sharia states, I believe also consumption of alcohols and drugs is regulated, so that we know who is, maybe those under 18 are not allowed, or also concerning time. So it is not just open every time people leave, visit their offices and then they go for bars and all this. So maybe we just replace it with, instead of removing the whole recommendation, we replace the word control with regulate in states and administrative areas. Then I wanted to insert another recommendation under economic, under regulation 57, maybe we add 58, and I wanted to read as, this is in regards to the oil revenue, because recommendation 35 is about the non-oil revenue. So I wanted a recommendation, another recommendation to read, national government and subnational levels to adhere to implementation of the provisions of the constitutions and the Petroleum Revenue Management Act in regards to allocation of revenue to oil producing states, administrative areas and communities. Because yes, the provisions of the constitution are clear, the act is there very clear, but implementation is not in place. So I wanted us also to make a recommendation on this one. I think I remember also yesterday Minister Wood was calling the governors on issues to do with giving back the lands that were for the schools. And I'm not seeing a recommendation, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not seeing something about this. Calling the governor, or is there? Yeah, then thank you so much, Your Excellency. Thank you so much once again, Your Excellency. And I equally thank Honorable Dr. Barnaba. Your Excellency, under the preamble, there is where it's mentioned that commending His Excellency the President about the 10 states. I wanted this document also to acknowledge the administrative areas by adding and recognizing the special administrative areas because it is left out. Am I heard? Yes. And then number 2,
the administrative areas.
recognizing
Except
the recognition given to them, yes.
Except Abiy came after the reversion to 10 states.
So,
Except Abiy.
yes, but it's they are recognized as structures. So I'm talking about recognition. It should not be left out from this document. Unless the chief administrators have their own opinion to be left out. And number 2.
Act number 7.
Yes.
Act number 7, which is a constitutional act, recognizes them.
Yeah, there's no harm in this document also to recognize them, Your Excellency. There's no harm. Number 2, and there is where we talk about regulating consumption of alcohols. It's ended at the state, so I wish if the administrative area also should be added. It is an oversight. It's nothing big. Then number 3, there was a recommendation where the Ministry of Presidential Affairs to the governors and the administrative areas to provide their flags. With the permission from my speaker here, I wanted also to announce to the governors and the chief administrators that if you pass by the Council of State, you will find that there are poles for flags, 14 of them actually, 13 for the states and the administrative areas, and then we have one taller for our flag, the South Sudan. So what we have right now is only the flag for the South Sudan. So with the permission from my speaker, I wanted to tell them also, actually we communicated to them earlier, that let each and every one of them bring the standard flag. So when you come to Juba here, every time you pass by the council, you will see the flag of your state or administrative area flying high here in the capital of South Sudan. Yeah. Okay. Yes. And then on number 65, just this is the last thing. On 65, there is something about building uh, 65.
Numbers would differ from
yes.
What they have in the computer.
Yeah, okay. I think it's 65, where we allocate more time on our South Sudan Broadcasting SSBC, I think. It's written there SSBS. I think it is SSBC.
Change. SSBC.
Yes.
Corrected.
Yes. And other media outlets program to state. State here is just one state, which I believe can be also just South Sudan. So if it's states with apostrophe there and administrative areas also to be added. States and administrative areas. And the last one is on the 73. On 73, support building institutional capacity. It would have been sufficient if just institutional capacity, full stop, without the rest, such as training, because it can include training and all this. Yeah, thank you once again, Your Excellency and the audience for the patient.